The best of high school sports is right here. Live from Studio A in Yuma, Arizona. Friday Night Lights starts right now.
Playoff hopes begin to come to fruition for a few of our area programs, while the fight for the Imperial Valley crown reaches its second round. Thank you very much for joining us for week number 8 of Friday Night Lights. I'm Rob Fran.
And I'm Cole Johnson. We begin with two of the hottest teams in the Imperial Valley, and the Imperial Tigers, who have won 3 games in a row, and the Brawley Wildcats, who've amassed a 5-game winning streak of their own.
Impressive indeed. Over the years, this game would have a huge say in determining the IVL champion, but the Wildcats have owned this series as of late, not losing to the Tigers since 2015. We bring you tonight's marquee matchup between these two elite programs, as both the Tigers and the Wildcats would renew their annual cat fight up at Warren Field, with both teams rearing and ready to go. Imperial with the opening possession. QB CJ Tiernan takes a quarterback design draw and zips up the gut before making his cut, and finally getting knocked out of bounds inside the Brawley 10-yard line. That 33-yard play puts the Tigers in business. 2 plays later, Jeremiah Naylor gets the call, cuts to the outside, fins off 2 Wildcat defenders, and fights his way into the end zone. The Tigers draw first blood, but would miss the extra point. On the ensuing kickoff, the Cats kick returners had a hard time tracking the ball in the air. Mishandling of the rock leads to an instant cat pile. And moments later, the officials confirmed that it's Tigers football. But that momentum would quickly shift. On the very next play, Rise Vignola goes for the jugular, but his would-be touchdown pass would be picked off in the end zone by Daniel Camillo. The tide now turning Brawley's way. We fast forward to the second quarter. Cats knocking on the door. Isaiah Young takes the rock into the end zone from 2 yards out. The Cats take the 7-6 lead. The cat fight would ensue, but Brawley would eventually pull away, getting the 27-15 victory. The Wildcats have won 6 in a row and have the inside track for the run at the IVL title.
There we go. They're pretty hot. Well, even though the Calexico Bulldogs are making up some ground and turning around their program, they got a dose of reality in last week's loss to Central, and they've still got a ways to go to accomplish that goal. And the Dogs would look to rebound on the road to stay afloat in the Imperial Valley League. So we take you out to a windy Eagle Field for the highlights, as John Haynes and the Southwest Eagles also try to bounce back from a loss, taking on Fernando Solano and the Dogs. The Eagles knocking on the door in their first drive, but whoop! The snap sails over Logan Younger's head. He does recover it, but hold on, a flag comes in, and they hit Calexico with a personal foul for jumping on the quarterback on the ground. First and goal. Very next play, Youngers, he capitalizes, finds his man Nate Smith Jr. for 6. Southwest strikes first. Extra point would be good, and they would lead this one 7-0. After Calexico stalled in their next drive, the Eagles on the move again, and it's Youngers rolling out to find the big tight end, Derek Mankin. He grabs it, slips 2 defenders, then trucks another guy, picks up the first down, and then he flexes on everyone. That's a big dude right there. But the Eagles would go on to punt. The Dogs making up ground here on the ground. Adam Zezweda with the keeper, catches the corner, off he goes across Southwest 40-yard line before being chased out by a lot of purple. The Dogs in business, and it leads to this. David Esker gets pressure in his face, launches it up, but whoa! That's your boy. Andres Ramirez goes up and grabs it out of the air. 3-2-1 blast off into the end zone for a touchdown. Calexico knots it up at 7, and they would ride momentum, pick up a huge win on the road, taking it 25-15. And staying in El Centro, the Central Spartans welcomes the DeVale Conquistadors out of El Paso, Texas, to Cal Jones Field. Early first quarter, the Spartans, Charlie Sullivan with a carry, and he goes nowhere. Moments later, Damian Rodriguez with the fake. Now this pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Central off to a slow start offensively. Now the Conquistadors from El Paso with the ball. The snap gets away from junior quarterback Jesse Ramos. He scoops it up, rolls to his right, and finds Damian Diaz on the board first for the touchdown. So bad play turns good. Central would answer in the second quarter. Damian Rodriguez slings it over the middle to Sergio Garcia for a big chunk of yards. Spartans on the move. And that's in the end zone. Moments later, he finds Rodriguez, throws left. He finds Charlie Sullivan for the score. And then later in this one, starting to heat up as the season nears the end, but Central would come up with the win 36-28.
Well, after 2 weeks of play, here's the latest look at the IVL standings, if we can get that up. The Central Spartans, you know, they came through, but they didn't play a league game tonight. Brawley did, and they have sole possession of first place by a half game, the inside track to the IVL title, but it looks like it's Brawley and Central between those two at this point. So if those two remain unbeaten, watch out for them come bell game time.
That could be a big one.
All right, for sure.
Well, with 3 highlights down, we have 3 more to go, including another YU HSD battle on Yuma's north side.
We also have a special tribute to one of our own who's moving on to greener pastures. Keep it here on FNL.
Was their son
life in prison for murdering his wife and 3 children.
wrongly convicted?
Your son's position is that she shot the children and then herself.
Now,
It's been many years that we have been quiet.
the parents break their silence.
Chris wrote you a letter explaining what took place.
The letter gave us the answers that we didn't know before.
All new Dr. Phil exclusive.
We want to help keep you informed from your home, office, or really anywhere else. NBC News 11 and KYMA.com have you covered when it comes to local, national, and international breaking news. From special reports to sports, entertainment, health, and the news you need to help plan your day, we have you covered, as well as the up-to-the-minute and most comprehensive weather forecast. Only on NBC News 11 or KYMA.com. All the news you need right at your fingertips.
Saturday, October 23rd, Bridget's Gift Western Dance and Barbecue is back at Kokopah Casino. It's Yuma's favorite charity event, featuring Gary Allen, with special guests Coffey Anderson, Bobby McClendon, Tanner Gomes, and more. Tickets are available at CokopahResort.com and Boot Barn. Don't miss it. Bridget's Gift Western Dance and Barbecue, Saturday, October 23rd at Kokopah Casino.
Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. Tack glasses improve optical clarity so you can see clearly, even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our tack glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing.
Act now to get your tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. So don't delay. Order yours today.
To order, call 1-800-287-1705. Again, that's 1-800-287-1705, or order online at trytackglasses.com.
This portion of News 11 at 10 is sponsored by Papasan Rice Bowl.
You're watching Friday Night Lights, home of football from across the desert Southwest.
Welcome back, everyone. Since the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks suffered their first loss of the season to a highly ranked ALA Gilbert North squad 3 weeks back, they played wind in their hair on fire.
The Rocks defeated their last 2 opponents handily, including their longtime rival Northwest Christian just last week.
And despite that signature win, YC finds themselves with a number 10 ranking in the latest 3A Power Poll. This is far from where they want to be, with only 4 weeks remaining before the start of the playoffs. But the Rocks would look to take out their aggressions on Chino Valley as we take you out to Ricky Gwinnett Field Stadium for the highlights. Yuma Catholic up 7-0. Stallworth on this drive completes it to Devin Black, who gets the chains moving. Next play, Stallworth with a screen pass to the other side. Austin Rush, who cuts across the field, finds some open real estate and takes it all the way for the Shamrock touchdown. What a play, making the play there. Chino Valley trying to get something on the board, but can't hang on to the football. Coughs it up, ball still loose, and it looks like it goes out of bounds, but yeah, so Chino keeps the possession, but the defense stays hungry for more. Landon Urquillo gets the QB on the next play. Chino Valley would force a punt. Shamrock's offense would capitalize. Stallworth with the completion to keep it rolling. Here we go. Next play, Stallworth connects with Dion Cantina, who spins away for the first down and some more. And he's pushed out of bounds eventually. Then Stallworth spreading the wealth. This time it's to Jared Marquez. And the big man isn't going to stop or get stopped. That's good for 6 more on the board. And then now following an interception, the Shamrocks would get the ball back, march down the field, eventually finding tight end Justin Erahab in the end zone. Goes up and gets it. That'll be the storyline as the Shamrocks run away with this one, 63-0.
All right, we go to Yuma's north side as both the Gila Ridge Hawks and Yuma Criminals each vying to get their first wins of the season. Who is going to get it? The opening drive, Ridge on the move, 3rd and 3 from the Yuma 8. Crim's defensive end, Janoa Medell, is there for the sack. Hawks would miss the field goal. Now the Crims get the first possession of the game for themselves. Sophomore quarterback Reggie Antone can't handle the snap. Crims unable to move the ball on the punt. And then on the punt, we're going to see sophomore Jacob Arcides. He's going to field it around his own 40. He's going to make a few moves, and then he gets loose. He even waits. Bye-bye. There it is right there.
Bye-bye.
Arcides, 60-yard punt return. Gila Ridge on the board first. After a Crims interception, see the cheerleaders really excited for that one. Gila Ridge inside the 10 again. This time, sophomore quarterback Leonardo Valencia rolls into his left, finds senior Brock Rogers in the center of the end zone. Hawks taking the 14-0 lead. Cheerleaders excited again. The start of the second quarter, it's Gila Ridge again. This time, Valencia finds Levi Davenport up the middle. Nice move, and he's gone, baby, gone. 65-yard touchdown. It was all Gila Ridge tonight. They take Yuma down in a romp.
Yep.
41-7. Wow.
That game's still in the fourth quarter. But in our final highlight of the night, the Telegraph Pass rivalry is renewed between San Pasquale and Antelope. As now we take this one here, the hope that it would provide an extra spark for both of these longtime area programs. We take you out to Buckeye Field where the Antelope Rams take them on for that cup we just saw. First quarter now, Rams going to hand off to the big man, Jose Soto. Takes up 13 yards at the field for the first down. Next play now, Rams get it over to Ivan Lopez. Another 10 yards for another first down. Later that drive, quarterback Jonathan Whitley. He's going to drop back, fires it right back to Lopez. Gets past the defensive back, and there he goes. Finds Pater for the touchdown. Rams strike first. They go up 7-0 in the Warriors. Next drive for San Pasquale now. Damian Cota going to drop back, get the ball over to Elias Espinosa, who is met immediately by the defense. No gain. Warriors would eventually punt. Now Rams back with the ball. Now Whitley lines up in the shotgun. He's going to take this snap, rolls outside the pocket. He's going to go all the way to the sideline. But wait, he throws it. And it's Lopez in the back of the end zone. Hauls it in his second touchdown of the day. And a last name like that, he was bound for some set. The Rams take this one easily. They take home the Telegraph Pass Cup by beating the Warriors 48-13.
All right, we still got more to come, including that special goodbye. And of course, you got your helmet props, you got your play of the week, and a lot of other goodies right after this.
We want to help keep you informed from your home, office, or really anywhere else. NBC News 11 and KYMA.com have you covered when it comes to local, national, and international breaking news. From special reports to sports, entertainment, health, and the news you need to help plan your day, we have you covered, as well as the up-to-the-minute and most comprehensive weather forecast. Only on NBC News 11 or KYMA.com. All the news you need right at your fingertips.
This holiday weekend at More Furniture, you can choose the savings that work for you.
Our fall styles have arrived, and you can choose 72 months interest-free financing.
Or an additional 21% off our already low prices.
The style and selection you love at More Furniture is even better when you can choose how you want to save.
And with 72 months to pay, or an additional 21% off, you are sure to find the fall looks you love at an exceptional value.
Pre-shop all our fall arrivals at morefurniture.com.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even
even have a mask on.
Call now and get not 1, not 2, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-270-1219. That's 1-800-270-1219. Or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
For me, this month is about celebrating all of the hard work that all of our people in the past and now keep on doing for us to have these opportunities today.
We have seen that people are breaking the stigma.
I think as Hispanics, we contribute more than we take.
And I'm like, yes, I'm Hispanic, I'm Latina, like that makes me who I am, that's my identity.
They need, and we do, we try, to be the best examples that we can.
Hispanic Heritage Month, sponsored by Toyota. You're watching Friday Night Lights, home of football from across the desert Southwest.
Welcome back, everyone, and we want to start by saying goodbye to one of the huge impact players for both Friday Night Lights and Varsity Blitz.
Brandon Mejia, otherwise known as Brando, affectionately has been on the anchor desk right here, and his knowledge and passion for local prep football has resonated since he got here. Before we say goodbye, Brando, do you have some final words, any final thoughts before you depart for good? Hopefully you'll come back and visit sometime, though.
Well, now I got to choose between watching FNL and Varsity Blitz on
He's
Friday
torn.
nights.
He's torn.
Torn between both. But Rob, I'm gonna miss you, man. I'm gonna miss you, Cole. You know, I started here with you on this desk, and it tore me apart when I went on to the other side. But you know what? I wouldn't be the same person if I didn't get to know you and work with you as much as I did. So
the honor's all mine, my friend.
It has been quite the ride, Rob.
And you've changed my life too, because you've brought so much to the show. Your passion, your just love for football and all sports for that matter.
Love it.
You and I can just talk sports all day. All three of us can just mix it up, and obviously Scott as well. We can all get together and talk sports for days and days and days. But you know, you're going to be missed. It's going to be, you know, we're going to see a definite space here without you. So. You know, we know you're going on to greener horizons, but again, just know that you've been such an impact player, and it's going to be noticed, folks, next week and the weeks beyond, that this guy isn't with us.
Rob, I'm going to miss you guys. You know, thank you again for letting me come back on FNL one last time.
There we go.
Going to miss you guys at home as well, so, you know
all
what?
right.
I'll be watching.
There we go. The honor's up.
Shake
yeah, we're going to shake.
You're getting a hug right after this show, too.
All right.
So the story goes on. Thank you guys so much.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Brando.
my friend.
All right, well, in case you missed any of tonight's highlights, allow us to get you caught up with our FNL scoreboard.
All right, our first batch of results, obviously the marquee matchup. Brawley took control at some point, and you know, that interception in the late first quarter, we'll get into that a little bit more, really helped turn the tide, and they got it done there. Central takes care of Del Valle, and I think, Cole, you're going to have something to say about that in a second as well. And Southwest, well, they didn't come through. They got off to a hot start, but Calexico took over at some point. Yuma Catholic, again, doing what they do.
Yep, doing what they do. And rounding out the rest of our scoreboard here, that Antelope beating San Pasqual 48-13 in that Telegraph Pass game. Cocofa taking another tough loss. This one a little bit closer. They kept this one a game, losing to Independence 20-6. Holtville, Palo Verde, that was the 40-8 final there. That was a final from Thursday night. And then Gila Ridge taking the 41-7 win on the road in Yuma for their first win of the season.
It was a surprise it wasn't closer. Yuma just played so gallantly against Cibola last week, and you know, Gila Ridge has just had their number. Let's just face it. They've had their number, and they've proved it again tonight.
All right. Well, now we pay tribute to the players, position groups, or even teams that stood out from the rest tonight. So, Rob, let's start with you. Who's getting your helmet prop?
Oh, man, if it wasn't obvious before, it's obvious now, Cole. You know, I got the chance to see in person a single play that changed the entire course of the first half of tonight's marquee matchup, and perhaps the entire game. Imperial had just recovered a Brawley fumble after scoring a touchdown. We're about to go up 2 scores, but Daniel Camillo came up big, getting a touchdown-saving pick, which gave an immediate momentum boost that would help the Cats eventually take this one. Congratulations, Daniel, on getting that helmet prop.
Yeah, that was a big play there. And as for me, Rob, I'm going to go with Central's Elijah Perez, also on that same front, playing a big defensive play, coming through with a huge pick 6 in the fourth quarter to seal the Spartans' win. You know, that was a huge pick because they had it tight. They were trying to win that game at home. comes up with a big pick six. That seals it, and congratulations to Elijah Perez with a big defensive stand there.
All right, well, our first look at our week number 9 lineup for FNL. We got a super stack of 8 games,
There we go.
all headlined by our marquee matchup between Vincent Memorial and Holville. Keep in mind, the Vikings have come off 2 consecutive losses after starting out hot. They're going to try to mend fences and get back on track. Vincent, though, is no pushover. So this is going to be an epic Desert League showdown. So this is going to be, something that you're not going to want to miss out on for sure. Yeah. Of course, you got a lot of other matchups there on the board as well that you just don't want to miss out on. So we look forward to seeing you next week because it's going to be a dandy.
Yep, well, we finish off our show with the latest and greatest Jack in the Box play of the week. So here we go. This one comes from Doanfield. The Yuma Criminals punting it away to Gila Ridge sophomore Jacob Arcides will field it around his own 40, makes a few moves, gets to the sideline here, and then whoop, makes a move, shakes another one down the sideline. He goes and he waves bye-bye. Oh, he says goodbye, takes us 60 yards and a house call for the touchdown. Take another look at this. He let the ball bounce like 10 yards, went, scooped it up, and there he goes. Wow.
Impressive. And that play helped Jessica Slaughter get her first win as the Gila Ridge Hawks head football coach. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to the Hawks. We'll see what momentum that could lead to. And we'll also see if Yuma can recover because they played so hard.
Yes.
They just had a real tough night tonight indeed. All right, folks, that's going to do it for Cole and myself. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.